Hello, I'm Linda Casey. I'm one of the editors at Printing United Alliance, and today we are joined by two wonderful women from the printing community and more. So let's start off with you, Marianne. Can you tell us a little bit about your company and a little bit about your role as a woman in printing?
I'll just start off by saying we started our business back in 2004. So we've been in business 20 years, which is really exciting. And we started out just as a walk-in print graphics shop in a small community. And 20 years later, we are blowing it up with a lot of great technology and equipment that we've invested in, and tying all the loose ends together to make it more efficient, increase capacity, and just make our employees love working for iOffice. So it's been a lot of fun.
And Connie, could you tell me a little bit about your role at iOffice?
All right. I'm a process consultant, recently retired from the world of global inventory control. And Marianne and Joe Neal were nice enough to let me come into their store and look for something to keep my days busy. And it was wonderful to sit down with them and hear what their vision was with their business. I was a little challenged in the fact that I have no printing background, but as I saw where the business was going, how busy they were, what the market needed in our area, we came together as a team and decided, let's review the business and upgrade what our capabilities are in our print department.
Connie, you came right to the crux of the reason why we're here today. What was the challenge or the opportunity that brought you over to Fiery?
Well, what we saw is we had a high level of frustration by our print operators in the printing department. We're a small rural community, so we have a very small employee base to pull from, and they have no print experience when we hire them. So for those of you who know the printing business, there's a lot of steps when you need to set up a file and prepare it for the printers. So we were having a lot of frustration. We were having high turnover. So we looked at, okay, how can we make it simpler for our printers? That's the basis of how we started. And then from there, how can we put out a higher quality product at the same time? So we took a moment, reevaluated our equipment, reevaluated the software that we had. And for years, the business had been using Fiery on Xerox 280 printers, but we really weren't using it. It was there. Every user knew how to right click and choose and pose and answer the 11 to 15 questions needed to set up every job. It wasn't done at a central control spot. It was done at each printer by whoever was running the printer that day. So you can see where that frustration was coming from. So at that point, we wanted to learn more about Fiery. How do we optimize it? So we Googled Fiery. That's how we found the Fiery Fridays with Rob Lente, and they just opened up the world to us about the power of Fiery. He laughs today because I've had the pleasure of meeting him, telling him how I found him, how we optimized Fiery by watching his videos. And we started immediately with building all of our templates, which solved, I would say, 50% of our issues. And as we saw the users' pride in their work grow, we wanted to, how do we take this even further? How do we now make this a big project? So we contacted our partner. He came in and saw what we were doing and couldn't believe how far we had come in just weeks. I mean, we're not talking months. We're talking probably 5 weeks at that time. And he introduced us to JobFlow and the possibilities of that. So is that going too deep there for you?
No. You're talking about some challenges that I think a lot of businesses are facing. And it's like, okay, it's like you have employees who maybe don't have these, not like you go into a trade
No.
when we were all younger, and you would, you would be trained for that and kind of come in with some kind of base knowledge. A lot of employees come in with very little knowledge, and how do you get them up and running with very little frustration?
Oh, I have to tell you, Marianne and Jodelle, the owners of the business, they are so well loved in the community because they have a philosophy of giving a lot of first time jobs to a lot of our high school students in the area. So they come in with no experience, and how
Oh
do
my
you
gosh.
train them? And our average training was taking 3 to 4 months. Now we can train in less than 2 days, and they are fully capable of running our high speed printers.
That's absolutely amazing. And Marianne, it's this recruiting from the high schools. I mean, that's kind of brave. And so is this something that you've always just done, or, is there a philosophy behind that? Mhm.
Well, we just believe in investing, in our community, and we still have a son that's in high school. So we have been around kiddos for a while and have a pretty good connection of families. Um, there are students that really have excellent work ethic at home that we
Mhm.
see and we know in the community. And to me, it's just a blessing to be able to be, an employer for them, to have them step into the workforce and learn from us. And what's been really cool about it, we have had several that have stayed with us through local community college, and continue to work with us flexible hours. And it's been so fun. We've definitely become part of their life. It's not just a job, I think, with those kiddos.
That's
So
fantastic.
yeah, it's been a good thing for us.
That's fantastic. And introducing people, to introducing young adults to the idea of becoming a maker is always a
Absolutely.
great thing. Yeah.
Absolutely, especially if you can get a student with a creative interest in graphic design, or somebody that really excels in customer service. We can put them at varying positions in the business, to help grow that skill set. So
Yeah, yeah. And when they have this confidence to grow this skill set because you've implemented technology that's so much easier to use. What's some of the what are some of the products that you're making with your Fiery technology?
So when we initiated our project, we had a goal of it taking 1 year to implement everything, but I would like to stress that we are only at 6 months, and we have achieved far beyond what our original 4 goals were. So when we started, we identified our 5 types of products that we see every single day, very repetitive: business cards, 5x7 folded cards, flat cards, 4x6 flat cards, and our NCR forms. We are printing those multiple times a day for our walk-in customers and our email customers. So once we identified those 5 key types of jobs, we set up the presets on Fiery, the templates on Fiery. Now they were flowing through perfectly. Our throughput time, we can now take the job and print it all in one day, all the way to finishing, packaging, and letting the customer pick them up by 6 p.m. So that happened so fast, we decided to look at every single thing we print through the print
Mhm.
department. And we now have our full range of products. So we print all the way from business cards, tickets, letterhead, NCR, notepads. Every single thing we print comes through JobFlow, except one product, and that's next on our list. We have wide format printers. We have 2 of them. We have the only ones in our county to print high-end posters and blueprints for our builders. So those are the last 2 items left that we are going to move into our Fiery solution. But I'd like to state it's a little more than we're just using Fiery to print all this. They have this amazing Fiery tool, and they're not using it. They really love the fact that they can do right click and pose, but they don't utilize it for that repetitive business. Program it, let it run every time. We've actually backed that all the way to the chain to our control center where the emails come in. We receive 80% of our jobs via email. And we print more than 100 jobs per day on 4 printers. So it's a very busy print shop. We now have it so automated utilizing JobFlow that we name our files, our part number. JobFlow picks it up, adds the bleed, rotates the files, sets it up, calls the workflow, drops it on the printer. It is a no-touch environment now. We have purely eliminated our graphics department out of having those daily challenges of adding bleed to files. I mean, when we're really busy, our graphics department couldn't even keep up. So we were printing files even without bleed, which sounds great until you put them into the cutter, right?
Mhm.
And it never cuts just perfect. Now, 100% of our jobs come through JobFlow with bleed. And therefore, when I say we have no waste, we really have no waste. Waste only exists in our facility now if we have an equipment problem, a paper jam or a cutter jam. We literally don't even track it anymore. And if we have waste, it goes into what we call our work table, and we all have a meeting at the end of the day. Why did this happen? How did this happen? Like, people care now. Their goal is to get through the day with zero waste. It's quite amazing. And we could have never done that without JobFlow and Fiery and No Touch. So I would like to state, when people hear that about our graphic department isn't involved in our daily production today, what that has allowed us to do, believe it or not, is grow our graphics department. So our graphics department is now responsible for more revenue than it's ever had in our business, because now we can sell the valuable services of design, of branding, of setting up very complex print jobs, some booklets. So now they're a consulting type service that we offer, not just they're sitting at their desk adding bleed to our files so we can print them better. And that's been an unknown benefit from this project as well. That was never on our radar, but it's amazing to look at the numbers in the past 6 months that our graphic department is now responsible for.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. Not only are you bringing you bring more revenue into the
Yes.
company because high value work, you're also having employees who are doing more creative work, which I know we're only 6 months in, but that's gonna help your turnaround because
Oh, we turn the majority of our jobs in one day. Of course, we
Mhm.
quote a 2-day turnaround, but I would say 80% of our jobs are turned same day. It really is amazing. I mean, our biggest issue that came out of this, I mean, because there's always challenges in implementation, right? Is our biggest challenge now is we need more work. We are putting through approximately 12% more through our printers on a daily basis right now, but we're doing it in half the time with the same amount of employees. Who would have known that would happen, right? So we're actually looking at how to grow that, how to bring in more, and just the fact that you can offer same day turnaround increases the business on its own.
Yeah, yeah. That's amazing. So same day turnaround, probably better quality because whenever you automate, you tend to have more consistent quality. And then you've got this amazing throughput that allows you to kind of have more capacity to grow. That's a great story.
I really love the word that you brought up, quality, because I have to say, in back, at the beginning of the year when we were starting this process, I want to say all printers really look highly for quality. I know they try, but when you're overwhelmed and busy and trying to get the orders out, you let a little quality slip just because you have so much print to get out. It's funny now because our operators are so obsessed with quality that we've implemented a 2-step I process. So the operator always has a second sign off, and now their goal is to find quality problems, which makes me laugh. They don't find very many every now and then, and it's usually with the customer's file, not with our processes, not with our job flow. It's usually a customer issue in a file, and so it's it's wonderful to go into work and see them all excited.
So your employee performance is better. Your turnaround is just almost immediate, same day.
Immediate. Yes.
Your quality is up, which that means your turnover is no longer.
Well, I'm glad you asked. So I think, and Marianne can speak on it. I've only been working with them just a short few years, and we didn't start in the print department. The print department has only been this year that we've really focused on it. The turnover was high. I would say every few months in the beginning. We've had zero turnover since we started the process. Zero.
Fantastic. That's
yes.
absolutely fantastic, especially with such a young such a young employee base to have zero. That's amazing.
Yes. And they're very excited every day, and now they're constantly pushing us to automate more. So recently, a lot of people probably don't know, in the Fiery product, you have the ability to add barcodes that talk to your cutters. So we fully implemented in every job that comes across our printers that it does print a barcode that now the user just takes over and puts on our MBM Velocity cutter. The cutter reads the barcode, shoots out the job. No more having to know which selection on the screen. Everything is now fully automated.
That's amazing. So because your employees are sticking around, their job is the more mundane parts of their job are gone. So you have this young person, they see a career path because they see that you're growing, that there's a reason to stick around because there's room to grow for themselves as employees as well as the business. I'm wondering what's next. What's next with where's iOffice going to be doing next?
Currently, like Connie had mentioned, about 80% of our work is coming through email. So we know that we need to compete online and make easy process to order. Especially if we're working with graphic designers and advertising, type agencies, people that have good quality print ready files, they're used to ordering online. So that's next on our list. Connie has already started some extensive research on that, and we may pick your brain on some possibilities with your group to see if there's some software we should look at. But we know that's next. And we know with everything else in place with JobFlow and Fiery, those files as they're coming in online, we can just drop into the process that's already working so well. So that is exciting.
and the team knows it's coming, and every day they ask us, when's it here? So they're pushing us to go faster.
And our customers too, they want it.
And you've successfully shown this throughout your business. You've innovated. This is part of this investment that you've made in technology is part of just kind of an expansion mindset that you've had since the beginning.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're independently owned, 20 years, but we've got to be able to compete with the way larger companies are selling online. I mean, the Amazons, Vistaprint, whatnot. We've got to be able to order in that same process for our customers, but we always want the personal service, that we provide also. Make it easy for them to place the orders, but our drivers deliver the products on our vans, that gives it a personal touch. We have account managers that call on our larger print customers that really want to make sure we take care of their needs. Some of those customers we offer full design services to, just depends on the client and what their needs are. So that account manager works with that customer to fill those needs or just print the files they give us, depending on the customer. So yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah, I was impressed by the breadth of printed work that you do from apparel to printed promo items, business cards, all of it, NCR forms. It's wonderful.
Well, there is pretty much, if you want it printed, we print it. That's what we tell our customers. Just ask, because we probably do it.
Fantastic. Well, ladies, I appreciate you spending time with us today and sharing your success story. It is you're firing in all cylinders. I mean, your revenue, employee happiness, being part of a community to deliver more and more products, and having room to grow. Just kind of building in that space to kind of grow the business, grow your employees, and kind of evolve. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you both for joining us. Thank you.
Yeah, we're
Thank you.
thankful that you asked us to join. We appreciate it.